Download the free practice worksheet on this topic or take a practice quiz at Mathcation.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another awesome math video from Mathcation. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to solve dilations on the coordinate grid. As you can see, there are three important things that we need to remember when solving dilations. The first is that a dilation is when you enlarge or shrink a figure. This means you are making the figure bigger or smaller. The shape is going to stay the same shape, it's just going to get bigger or smaller. So for example, if we had a triangle and we enlarged it, it would still be a triangle in the same exact shape, except it would be bigger. Or if we shrunk it, it would be a triangle that is smaller. The second thing you need to know is that a scale factor determines how much bigger or smaller the figure will get. The scale factor is labeled with the letter K, and if K is larger than 1, your shape will get bigger. So it's going to enlarge if the scale factor is greater than 1. If K is less than 1, your shape will get smaller. If the scale factor is less than 1, it's going to shrink the shape or make it smaller. The last thing you need to know is when you're dilating, you're going to multiply the scale factor by the figure's x and y coordinates. So you'll take whatever the scale factor is and you'll multiply it by the x and y coordinates of the figure, and that will give you the coordinates for the dilation of that figure. And if the scale factor is larger than 1, the figure is going to get bigger, and if it's less than 1, it's going to get smaller. And if you're learning anything right now, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on other helpful math videos. Let's go ahead and get started on our first practice problem. This problem tells us to dilate by a scale factor of 2, and then it gives us a bunch of x and y coordinates, and it already has the first coordinate graphed for us. If you're dilating by a scale factor of 2, that means that k is equal to 2, and that means you have to multiply all of these coordinates times 2. To get a prime, you're just going to take the coordinates for a and you're going to multiply each one by 2. So the first xy coordinate is negative 3, negative 1. You'll do negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6, and negative 1 times 2, which is negative 2. Then you do the same thing for b prime, c prime, and d prime. So b prime is going to be negative 1 times 2 for our x coordinate, which is negative 2, and then negative 3 times 2 for our y coordinate, which is negative 6. C prime is negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6, and y coordinate is negative 5 times 2, which is negative 10. And then finally for d prime, you do negative 5 times 2, which is negative 10 for the x coordinate, and negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6. Now that we have our new coordinates for the dilation, we can go ahead and graph them. So I'm going to graph a prime. You go negative 6, negative 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So here's a prime, and I'm going to label it a prime. B prime is negative 2, negative 6. I'm going to label this b prime. C prime is negative 6, negative 10, and I will label this c prime. And then d prime is negative 10, negative 6, and I will label this d prime. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect our dots to create our new shape after the dilation. And you can see that our shape is the exact same shape as the original figure, except it's bigger. I knew it was going to get bigger because this scale factor of 2 is greater than 1, and because this is greater than 1, it's going to enlarge the figure. Now that it's been graphed, this is going to be our solution to this dilation with a scale factor of 2. Moving on to our second practice problem. This problem says to dilate by a scale factor of 1/5. This means our scale factor is 1/5. To get our new coordinates, we're going to multiply the x and y coordinates in a, b, and c by 1/5. So we're going to multiply all of these times 1/5 because 1/5 is our scale factor. A prime is going to be 5 times 1/5, which is 1, and then negative 5 times 1/5, which is negative 1. B prime is going to be 10 times 1/5, which is 2, and then negative 5 times 1/5, which is negative 1. And then for c prime, our x coordinate is 5 times 1/5, which is 1, and negative 10 times 1/5, which is negative 2. After the dilation, we can go ahead and graph them. A prime is 1, negative 1. We get 1, negative 1. I will label this a prime. B prime is 2, negative 1. I will label this b prime. And c prime is 1, negative 2. And this will be c prime. So this is our new shape after the dilation of 1/5. The scale factor is less than 1, which means our shape got smaller. And it got smaller by 1/5 of the size, and it shrunk to 1/5 of the size of the original shape because the scale factor was 1/5. So you can see it got a lot smaller. And finally, our last practice problem tells us to dilate by a scale factor of 4, and it gives us 4 coordinates, A, B, C, and D. You can see it's already graphed on our X and Y coordinate, A, B, C, D. And the scale factor is 4, which means we're going to multiply everything times 4. Now, 4 is greater than 1, so I know the shape is going to be bigger than the original shape. For A prime, I'm going to go ahead and multiply 4 times our X and our Y coordinates. So -1 times 4 is -4. 2 times 4 is 8. B prime, same thing. Multiply times the X and the Y coordinates. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. C prime, you do 1 times 4, which is 4, -2 times 4, which is -8. And then to get the new X and Y coordinate for D prime, you're going to multiply -1 times 4, which is -4, and then -2 times 4, which is -8. So now that we have the X and Y coordinates for the figure after the dilation, we can go ahead and graph them. A is -4, 8. I'm going to put my A prime here, and then B prime is +4, +8. So I'm going to put B prime right here. C prime is +4, -8. So I'm going to add my C prime and label it. And then finally D prime is -4, -8. And I'm going to label D prime, and the shape of our new figure is going to look like this. Now remember, the scale factor was 4, which is greater than 1. So the figure is going to be larger than the original. You'll notice that the shape got 4 times as big as the original shape. And if you want to do some more practice on dilations on the coordinate grid, go ahead and click the link in the top right part of your video, and you'll be taken to an interactive quiz that grades itself and tells you how you did. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you got something out of it, and drop a comment telling me this video helped you, or if you need help with something else. See ya!